Alomar again. The same thing. Another two-run shot. Toronto led 5-1. Top of the sixth, though, things got very ugly. Alomar squaring the bunt. Valera nails him. Then Joe Carter up. He gets knocked down by an inside pitch. Bottom six, Toronto's Pat Henkin responds and gets Chad Curtis and gets a warning. Next batter, Tim Salmon. And Salmon turns on the fastball and takes Henkin out. That's his 10th homer. And that's when the fun started. All the baseballs came coming out of the stands and the fight began. First Ed Sprague, Chad Curtis, then everybody. Darnell Coles trying to get at some unruly fans. Police had to break this fight up. Coles and 4 other players ejected. To the game, Angels trying to tie up the game. Bottom of the ninth, didn't happen. Toronto escapes with a 7-6 win. That melee lasted 18 minutes. You thought the Bulls-Knicks series had drama. The game, to finish this game, police had to stand on either side of both dugouts. As for the game, thanks to Roberto Alomar's 5 RBIs, Toronto completes their first sweep in Anaheim in 13 seasons. They're just a half game back of first place Detroit.
Batting average just above 200. Good defense helps. Gary DiSarcina from his knees. Randy Knorr is nailed. Angels do some damage in the first. Chili Davis lifts one to left. And it leaves. That's Chili's 6th of the season. It is 2-0. Now to the 8th we go. Angels up 4-3. Former Jay, Kelly Groomer. He also lifts one to left, and it leaves. It's his first home run since September of last year. Angels get the win 6-4, the win snapping a California 4-game losing streak. John Olerud, the AL's top hitter, did single, extending his hitting streak to a career high 14 games. In
or better. Juan Guzman trying to go 6-0. In trouble here with Lou Whitaker at first. Bottom of the 5th in a 2-2 game. And Cecil Fielder, not the home run, but good enough, as Coles gives it a shot to get the run home. Here comes Whitaker. Tigers lead 3-2. Then Kirk Gibson drives it towards right. Gibson with a couple of runs batted in. Detroit leading 4-2. Guzman in trouble in the 3rd. Kyler is at 3rd. In the bottom of the 6th, I should say. An intentional walk to Whitaker, and it gets away. 124 pitches thrown in less than 6 innings. 58 of those were non-strikes. And then John Olerud. His hitting streak now 15 straight games. This his 14th homer. Now batting .395 to lead all of baseball. Top of the 9th, 2 on and 2 out. Bob McDonald, the next Blue Jay, facing Olerud, and that's called strike 3. Had Olerud gotten a hit, his average would have been raised to 400. McDonald, who was, of course, Olerud's teammate in spring training, said he knew Olerud's style in this situation. John Doherty won for the 3rd straight time.
Singles night in Motown, complete with the tunes. Bottom of the 3rd, the hit parade begins. Tony Phillips at the plate. Tony Phillips goes to right for a single. Travis Fryman next to step to the mic, and on singles night, he gets one, despite the great stop by Ed Sprague. Cecil comes to the plate. He's dancing singles night. 2-run score on this bloop single. It's 2-zip. The Mick and his single sends Al Leiter to the showers. Tigers send 11 men to the plate in the 3rd. In the 5th, Mike Timlin to Dan Gladden. The Jays should have brought the outfield in. It's another single. A powwow at the mound. Hey, how about this singles thing? Mickey Tettleton, he drops another one in, and Cecil scores. It's 12-zip, and singles leave the game as couples. Tigers win at 12-1, 15 hits for Detroit, all of them singles. The 9th time the mighty Tiger Stadium.
Not a bad day at the glove either. Tony Phillips at bat, and Fernandez deep in the hole and gets him at first. John Olerud's hitting streak, you say, in the 3rd inning. Olerud, the base hit off Mark Leiter. Roberto Alomar scores an 18-game hitting streak, a 400 average for Olerud now. Meanwhile, Fernandez at the bat. 2 men aboard in the 4th. He takes David Haas out. A 3-run shot to the upper deck. Jays up 10-4, and the Tony Fernandez show continues in the 9th. The ground rule double off Tom Bolton as the fan reaches out and grabs it. Paul Molitor scores. Fernandez, 5 RBI. The Jays rout the Tigers 13-4. A big Tony Fernandez fan of Detroit. Fernandez 5 for 10 in 2 games with the Jays. 4 extra base hits and 6 RBI. He had 14 RBI and 40.
In Minnesota, bottom of the 1st, AL Player of the Week, Shane Mack keeps rolling against Dave Stewart, who did pitch well. A shot to right field. Joe Carter goes into the hefty bags. There are some heavy metal ties that keep those hefty bags up. Carter goes down, Mack gets a triple. Joe C was okay, stayed in the game. Mack had 2 triples on the evening. Top 4, Twins up 2-0. Bases loaded. John Olerud hitting 400. won't be hitting 400 if guys like Mack continue to flash the leather. A leather and lumber, you know what I'm trying to say, leather and lumber double for Mack on the evening. Bottom 7, Jays up 1. Chip Hale hits it to center. Pat Mears coming around scores. A ground out by who else but Shane Mack gets the winning run. And Larry Cassian, Larry Cassian, gets his first win of the year as Minnesota wins 4-3. Carl Willis closed because Aggie is nursing a strained muscle in his left hip. Shane Mack, player of the week. Great game Monday, hideous game on Tuesday from a defensive standpoint. Lost one in the lights. The Tony Fernandez hit, padding a 3-0 Blue Jay lead. More problems. John Olerud, who's getting hits every possible way, gets one because Shane lost it in the soft roof of the Humphrey Dome. Olerud went 3 for 4. He's hitting .405. And Mack, after a great game Monday with a couple of triples and some great defensive plays, nowhere to hide on Tuesday. Guzman 8 strong as the Jays win by 3. Just the Jays' second win in 7 games. They're tied with the Yanks, 4 behind the leading Tigers. Linda?
Safely in 23 straight. Can we make it 24? Yes, we can. The single off Darwin scores Molitor. Bottom of the 5th, Paul's at the plate. Got a couple of runners on, and he goes deep to left. Bob Zubczyk is back there, but Bob Zubczyk cannot handle it. Smashing into the KC sign. Butler and Alomar score. Molitor 3 for 4, 4 ribbies. Dave Stewart was given good support. A season-high 9 via the K. Jays win 9-4. Molitor 8 hits in his last 10 at-bats. Now hitting .345. Olerud still above 400. He is at .402 at the...
At Sky Dome, John Olerud, base hit in the 4th inning, 25-game hit streak, just 31 behind Joe DiMaggio. Just 31. Bottom of the 6th, it is 2-0 Boston. It was 2-0 Boston. Joe Carter connects to left, homer number 15, first since June 8th, and Frank Viola starts to say his first name. We're tied at 2. We go to bonus cantos. Carlos Quintana is up with the bases loaded, but Mike Timlin, you can feel the breeze from there, Q. 4 strikeouts for Quintana on the day. At the bottom of the 12th, first and second, Carter again. After the home run, he gets the game-winning rib. Jeff Russell taking to right field. Here comes Alomar, beats the throw easily. 3-2, the Jays sweep. That would be 7 in a row for Toronto and Joe Carter. Boston has lost 6 straight, 13 of the last 15, and they head home for a series with the Twins at Jurassic, formerly Fenway Park.
To Sky Dome, Yanks and the Blue Jays start a series. John Olerud trying to extend his hitting streak to left field, and it extends the hitting streak off of Melito Perez. 26 straight games with a hit for John Olerud. Top 3, Jack Mars battered around, down 3-0. Danny Tartabull goes down, gets one, and sends it out to center field. What a blast. 4-0 Yanks, but Toronto comes back head spraying off of Melito Perez. Solo shot to left, and the Jays deficit down to 2. It's down to 1 in the bottom of the 8th. The go-ahead runs are on, and Pat Borders brings him in just past Boggs. Olerud scores from second. Tony Fernandez coming around, and he will beat the relay as well. The Jays rally from down 4-0 to win 5-4. Olerud 4 for 4. You see his average. He has the longest hit streak since Jerome Walton's 30 straight in 1989. The Jays have won 7 in a row. They're in second, 1 behind the Tigers. Woody Williams faced 1 batter and gets the win. Yanks' win streak stopped at 4.
The groundbreaking began with that man, Don Mattingly. 2 on facing Todd Stottlemyre and gets to him big time with a double up the gap. 1 of 3 hits from Mattingly. 2 runs come in. That tied the game at 2. Oh, and about that other first baseman, John Olerud, handcuffed by Jimmy Keek. He said he didn't try anything special with Olerud. Olerud was 0 for 3 against him. Joe Carter picks up the slack, puts the Blue Jays up front 3-2 with his 16th home run of the year. But the Yanks would score 2 to take the lead. Here in the 8th, though, big play. Steve Howe in to face John Olerud with 2 on and the streak on the line. The natural, the swing, the high chopper. There's Spike Owen, the stunning play into a double play. The streak stopped cold at 26 games. So are the Blue Jays. Yanks win 4-3 and pull within 2 from the top. The Yankees pounded out 15 hits against 5 Toronto pitchers. 5 of those hits were doubles. Danny Tartabull had 1 of those doubles. He totaled 3 hits.
I Dome, big crowd on hand. Scott Kamenicki looking for a 3rd good start. Doesn't get off to a good start. Devon White to center, and forget about it. His 20th career leadoff homer, 1-0 Jays. And some Yankee defense. Olerud, will he start a new hit streak at 1? Not on this swing. Great catch by Paul O'Neill. But the rest of the Jays were more fortunate. White's next at bat. In the third, to right center, and nobody's going to get there. Turner Ward scores easily. Stand-up triple for Devo, and the Jays lead 3-0. Ward scored easily for him, not for any of us. Still in the third, Olerud up again. Given the intentional walk, the thinking for Buck Showalter will face Tony Fernandez. Tony says, you challenge me, take this. Base hit center field, Joe Carter scores. Blue Jays 5, Yankees nothing. In the fifth, Olerud up again. Olerud walked again. Fernandez comes up again. Fernandez says, take this again. Another single, this one to right. 7-1 Jays. Fernandez 3 for 3, hitting .396 as a J, and then some defense to close it. Watch Robbie Alomar. What a play. The flip to Fernandez to close it out as the Jays point towards first, winning by 5. Their starter, Pat Henkin, has won 6 straight. He hasn't lost since the middle of May. The Jays have scored 7 in each of his starts. Olerud got 1 hit, now hitting .405.
All right, Blue Jays, Brewers. Bottom of the fourth, the Brew Crew up 1-0. Joe Carter with runners on, and Eldred gets him to hit into the 6-4-3 double play. Carter takes that back to the bench. He's mad. 8th inning, Turner Ward at the plate. Cal Eldred with a 3-hitter. That's a 4-hitter. That's gone. His 4th, it's tied at 2. 9th inning, Eldred is still in. Hey, Joe Carter, a little revenge? Indeed. That's a solo shot, and you know how Cal Eldred feels. Maybe you shouldn't have got him into that double play. 3-2 the final. Jays back in first place, second largest crowd of the season on hand. Most to see former Jay Paul Molitor. They stood and cheered in the first. They booed him the last time he got it.
Cardinal lost 5 in a row, so we wasn't worried about such stuff. But Wegman pitching against the Toronto Blue Jays, and John Olerud had a pair of doubles. He now has 31 on the year. He went 3 for 3. Jack Morris, last few starts has looked good. There, the fork ball against Kevin Reimer Reason. He struck out Robin Yount 3 times. Yount K'd 4 times in the game. Morris, a no-hitter through 6. Bottom of the 7th inning, Morris to the leadoff man, BJ and the Bears, Surhoff. The little blooper, and there goes the no-no. Morris ended up giving up 4 hits and 2 runs and was yanked with a 5-2 lead. Kevin Reimer with the score 5-3, sends one deep, but Joe Carter playing right field with the catch. Morris, the Jays, hold on to win it 5-4 as Dwayne Psycho Ward comes out of the pen with save number 21 for Bill Wegman. His losing streak continues, albeit not as long as AY's. His mark is now 4.
500 mark. To the Bird Park we go, and Rick Sutcliffe in trouble early. Bases jammed. Joe Carter, Taleo Gomez, who comes up with it, and they get the runner at home, 1 down. Next batter, John Olerud. And he comes through. That will fall. Alomar is in. Paul Molitor was on safe. Here he comes, and he slides in. And he's safe. It's 2-zip. Todd Stottlemyre getting support. Harold Reynolds to right. Joe Carter is there. He later left the game because of a slight hamstring pull. 5-2 in the 7th. Johnny O again, clearing the bases. Molitor and Ward come across. That is 4 RBIs for J.O., and the Jays roll 7-2. Alomar also 4 for 5 with 2 doubles. Olerud now hitting .406.
Camden Yards, solid pitcher and solid defense. Chris Hoyle's a red-hot hitting catcher up the middle, but Alomar there to throw him out. Ben McDonald had Jays hitters off balance. The fork ball. Devon White struck out 3 times. Top of the 9th, 1-0 Orioles. Runner at second. The top hitter up there, and John Olerud actually on deck. Molitor, after a 7-minute at-bat, works a walk, and then Alomar steals third, so runners go to first and third. Now, back in the 4th inning, when the Jays had a runner at second and 2 out, they elected to intentionally walk John Olerud, but back to the 9th inning, Brad Pennington on pitches to him and was sorry he did. Olerud past the drawn-in infield, tied the game at 1, and then Tony Fernandez with his head in the game. Base hit right field. Paul Molitor coming home. Mark McLemore's throw. And he is going to be in there for a 2-1 Toronto lead, making a loser of Ben McDonald. The Jays have won 12 of 14. Henkin now in his last 9 starts 7-0. Dwayne Ward picking up his 22nd save. Olerud going 1 for 3, batting .405.
90. No-hitter in this one. Stewart in trouble. Harold Baines, he singles to right in the first. And fellow Harold, that's Harold Reynolds coming home. And he's safe. It's 1-zip. Adding to it in the 5th. M&M, Mark McLemore on second. Baines again. This one gets by the right fielder. Max in. And here comes Cal all the way around from first. And he is safe. It's 3-zip. Fernando, not a no-hitter, but he was the Fernando of old. Yvonne White, thanks for playing our game. And the O's roll 6-zip. That's Fernando's first 9-inning complete game since the aforementioned no-hitter. John Olerud goes 2 for 4, his average up to .407.
Bottom of the 7th. Runner at first, Rico Rossi. Laces one to left. Turner Ward will hit the wrong cutoff man. It allows Phil Hyatt to score. Royals go up 3-1. John Olerud had a tough night facing Jeff Montgomery. And Olerud, that would be a backward K in the scorebook. He took the donut, going 0 for 4 in sweep night in Kansas City. Olerud still batting .401. Toronto.
Devon White on first. Roberto Alomar throws his bat at the ball. Dean Palmer, the diving stop at third. Another big day at the plate, a big day with the glove for Palmer. Joe Carter swings at a pitch off the plate. His base hit scores White. Jays jump on top 1-0. But Dave Stewart, he would be haunted by the 2-run homer, and he looks haunted there, doesn't he, in the second inning. Peltier on first. Ivan Rodriguez, the home run. In the third, Julio Franco. Later in the third, Dean Palmer. Yet another long ball for Palmer, number 21 of the year, 99 for the Rangers, and they had a 6-3 lead. But the Jays can also score. Alomar delivers the double on the breaking ball inside the bag. Turner Ward trots home in the ninth. Dwayne Ward, no relation. The wild pitch. Butch Davis comes in. And the Rangers go on to win it 11-6. They complete that 4-game sweep. The Blue Jays lose their 10th in the last 11. Cito Gaston said his team is exhausted. So is its Eastern lead. Palmer's 3 RBI gave him 14 in the last 4 games.
He had his good stuff in his first start at Toronto since being traded. Joe Carter, sit down. Through 5, Cone faced the minimum 15 batters. We're scoreless in the top of the 4th. Wally Joyner changes that in a big way. His 10th of the year, traveling 429 feet. Royals up 2-0 in the 7th when Cone loses his head. Leading off and teeing off. Molitor, his 11th, and the lead is cut in half. 2 batters later, Cone head falls off again. John Olerud, the lead is gone, his 16th, and Cone is gone in the 8th. Bases jammed. Billy Brewer facing that same guy, John Olerud. Olerud doesn't have to take the bat off his shoulders. A walk, go-ahead run comes in. Jays score 5 in the 8th and win 7-2. Some more good news for the Jays. Their third base coach, Rick Hacker, injured in a car accident Sunday. His condition has been upgraded from serious to fair. Olerud 2 for 3. His average now .397.
Gaston is looking for a victory. Bottom of the first, Royals were up 1-0. John Olerud, his 1 hit of the day, ties the game at 1. Paul Molitor comes in. Olerud hitting .396. Bottom of the 7th, Casey up 3-2. Devon White the opposite way off Abier. Quist Grin, nice try, but can't come up with it. The double scored Turner Ward. We're tied at 3. 2 batters later, White on third. Paul Molitor gets around on this one. In the hole it goes. Greg Gagne, what a gun. Beats him by a half step. Top of the 9th, tied at 3. 2 outs. Runner on second, Brian McRae. The liner, it sinks. Devon White, the 4-time Gold Glover, can't come up with this one. Felix Jose scores. Look at McRae. The inside the park home run. Royals go on to win it dramatically 5-4. 12 losses now in 14 games for Toronto. Mark Gubicza pitched a scoreless 8th to earn his 3rd win. 2 of his 3 wins have come against Toronto. Jays playing Kansas City, and Toronto was in a hole early thanks to this guy, Mike McFarland, going deep with a man on. A monster shot. He actually reconsidered calling time there. Good thing he reconsidered. Number 13, 2-0 Royals. They would take a 3-2 lead into the 4th. Devon White sitting it out with a strained elbow. Don't worry, his replacement was William Cañate. His first Major League RBI ties the game at 3, and Cañate wasn't finished. Still tied, bottom of the 9th. Cañate leading off against Hippolito Pichardo. Pichardo's second pitch, gone. Cañate's first Major League home run wins a game for Toronto. He came into the game, Cañate did, 1 for 18. This guy was playing A-ball a year ago. He leads Toronto to just their 3rd win in their last 15 games. The Venezuelan-born Blue Jay made Pat Henkin a 12-game winner.
The Jays, trouble for Rodney Bolton. He throws the ball past Frank Thomas, so Molitor goes to second. Already up 1-0, Ed Sprague shatters his bat. It goes to right. Joe Carter in, it's 2-0. We call the bullpen. Next batter is Turner Ward. And he slaps one to left. Olerud comes in to score. Here comes Fernandez. Here comes the throw from Raines. And he just beats it. It's 4-0 Jays. That was all for Rod Bolton. Kirk McCaskill in, and 2 batters later, it's Randy Knorr going deep. This one leaves. It's a 3-run shot, and the Jays put up a 7 spot. Dave Stewart was shaky, but he gets some defensive help. Roberto Alomar robs Raines. Jays win 15-7. 21 hits and 15 runs are both season highs. Olerud 3 for 6, now hitting .398. Frank Thomas and Robert Ventura each with a home run for the White Sox.
League All-Star team will pick it up with Fernandez on the mound. Scoreless in the second, but not for long. The king of the road, John Olerud, to right field. His 18th homer. He had a shot going in to get back to the 400 mark. He'd fall a little short. Jays up 1-0. Juan Guzman, high heat to Ozzie Guillen, who climbs the ladder. In the 6th, 1-0. Joey Cora on. Frank Thomas, who likes to go deep in the count, catches Guzman by surprise. A first pitch homer, number 22 for the Big Hurt. 2-1 Sox. And the Jays' big three, when it counted, held in check. Fernandez comes back to get Olerud in the 5th. In the 7th, Joe Carter frozen with one on the black on the corner. And then in the 9th, Paul Molitor, and watch the action on the slider moving away. A 4-hitter for Fernandez. The Sox maintain their West lead. We'll tell you how big that is in a bit. 2-1 win for Chicago. Fernandez fan 5, walk none. Olerud's average dropped 1. Go with the White Sox on ESPN. Second inning facing Ellis Burks. A line drive that'll glance off the right forearm, then hit the left pinky. Morris can't get the out, finishes the inning, but then warm-ups next inning, he feels it. The x-rays were negative. They put it in a splint. There's going to be a bone scan on Thursday. To the 7th inning, Toronto led 2-0, and Joe Carter singles up the middle to score. Robbie Alomar make it 3-0. Robbie scored a run. Robbie runs him down in the field. Hey, it bounced the wrong way, but what a stop by Alomar, and he gets Ozzie Guillen as the Jays get the win and get back into first. Al Leiter came in to replace Jack Morris, and through 5 shutout innings, the Jays get a 5-pitcher, 5-hitter for their 5th win in 18. John Olerud, 1 for 3. He's hitting .396. Runs allowed, 2 wins. Joe Carter would change a lot of that. In the 2nd, already up 3-0 Toronto. Carter singles in Alomar. Molitor to follow. 5-0 Jays. The lead 6-3 in the 6th. Carter again. This one a shot to left center with Devon White on first, on his horse, and on it. A 4 RBI night for Carter, and the Jays lead 7-3. But Texas battles back down 7-5. Juan Gonzalez takes one to deep left. 27 homers, tied with Bonds for the Major League lead. We're tied at 7 to the 9th. Chris Carpenter facing John Olerud to right field, and the ballpark would not hold it. The king of the road with 19 homers. The average back at an even 400 with that hit. Olerud, a 10-game hitting streak. The Jays rally to come back and win this game 8-7. Mentioned Olerud at 400. This as late.
Brings home Turner Ward. 5-3, Jays in the lead. Kevin Kennedy's team down, but not out. Bottom of the 7th, still 5-3. Pat Hinkins pitching. Gary Ritas singles to left, scoring Doug Strange. Rangers down 1, still in the 7th. Mark Eichhorn pitching. Juan Gonzalez, the grounder. Rafael Palmeiro is out at 2nd, but Jeff Houston scores. We're tied at 5. Then still in the 7th. Pudge into pinch hit with a shot up the middle. Nice stop by Fernandez, but Dean Palmer is safe. Rita scores at 6-5. Cito Gaston sees a win slip away as the Rangers win by that final 6-5. Former Jay Tom Hankey struck out the side in the 9th for his 21st save. Texas has won 3 of its last 4. The Jays have dropped 14 of their last 20. Now, John Olerud
against Toronto, top of the 1st. Ryan and Joe Carter meet up. Joe Carter wins his 19th 3-run job, 3-0 Jays. Nolan did not have it. 6-3 Jays in the 6th. Mike Timlin in relief for Toronto. Mike Timlin did not have it. Gary Ritas takes Timlin deep to center field, and I don't think it's playable. A 3-run homer, his 4th, tied at 6. Rangers are leading 7-6 in the 9th. What does this look like to you? An ordinary off the end of bat, opposite field foul ball. Roberto Alomar began to think that, but it hit the pole, and though it dropped foul, it is fair. The game-winning 3-run homer. John Olerud, meanwhile, 1 for 4, 4-0-1. The 3-way tie holds in the American League East. Boston ahead by .001 ahead of New York and Toronto. And Cal Ripken with 2 men on base. It's Ripken's 15th homer of the year. The Orioles lead 5-3. But as that save was blown, so is this one. Bottom of the 8th, bases loaded for Toronto. Greg Olson facing Ed Sprague Jr. Rips a double down the left field line. Molitor scores, Carter scores, and we're tied again. Now it is 5-5. The next batter is Pat Borders with a grounder up the middle. Ripken The effect of the streak, not seen there. Tremendous play, but Borders, despite the unfortunate slide, is safe at first. Olerud scores. Jays lead 6-5. Top of the ninth, runners at first and third, and Mark McLemore strikes out against Ward. So the Jays hang on to their slim first-place lead. The win goes to Ward despite his 5th blown save in 31 chances. Toronto has won 3 straight, 5 of 6.
The CO's John Olerud, 14-game hitting streak, 15-game hitting streak, and his 20th homer of the year. He went 1 for 2. He's hitting .403. The Jays had a 2-1 lead. To the top of the 5th, all even at 2. Harold Baines homered earlier, rips one off of Todd Stottlemyre down the right field line. 2-run score. Baltimore leads 4-2. Cito's team ties it in the 7th. Extra innings in the 10th. Mark Williamson on, facing Tony Fernandez. Cal infield in, bobbles it, throws wide. Chris Hoyles comes off the plate. Paul Molitor, who walked to start the inning, scores the game-winning run. And for the 2nd straight night and 13th time in 5 years, the Jays beat the O's in Toronto's last at-bat. Baltimore has lost 3 straight. After a cold stretch, the Jays have won 6 of 7, lead the Yanks by a half in the East.
Toronto and Detroit, bottom of the first, 2-0 Tigers leading. Paul Molitor against Sean Bergman. And Paul Molitor goes deep, his 14th of the year. Toronto down just 2-1. Top of the second, Pat Henkin throws it right by Tony Phillips' head. Phillips doesn't like it. Umpire Mark Johnson had to restrain Tony. Henkin said the pitch just got away from him. Phillips didn't believe it. The bench is cleared. No punches thrown, but Phillips was ejected. The guy who replaced Phillips in the lineup was this guy, Rob Deere. Deere didn't waste any time making an impact. His 13th home run of the year was a big one. It tied the game at 4 in the 7th. Bottom of the 8th, still tied, 1 out, bases loaded. Sparky sticks with Tom Bolton against Roberto Alomar, and Alomar, with the bases full, clears the bags with 1 shot, a triple. Jays win their 5th straight thanks to Alomar's big hit, 7-4. This was the 4th straight game the Jays won in their final time at bat. They increased their lead in the East to a full game over the idle Yankees. Detroit now 7 out.